Hi, I'm Mike. This is Budget Guns and Gear Reviews, and today we're going to have the first installment of My 2 Cents. It's my 2 cents because, well, this is Budget Guns and Gear I review after all, and that's all my opinion is worth. Stick around. We're going to talk about the home invasion in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, earlier this week, there was a group of individuals that broke into someone's house and they got shot for it. I'm going to read the report from K4.com. It's our local news channel, KFOR. Wagoner County, Oklahoma. We're learning more about the home invasion in Broken Arrow that left 3 teen suspects dead. Shortly before 12:30 p.m. on Monday, authorities say 3 teenagers dressed in black and wearing masks and gloves broke into a Broken Arrow home through a back door. However, they did not know that a young man was home at the time. Officials say the homeowner's 23-year-old son killed all 3 teens with an AR-15 before barricading himself inside his bedroom. One of the alleged suspects was found to have a knife, while another was carrying brass knuckles. The intruders are identified as 19-year-old Maxwell Cook, 17-year-old Jacob Redfern, and 16-year-old Jacob Woodruff. Maxwell Cook just shows a picture of those 3. Preliminary investigation looks like it's self-defense, said Wagoner County Sheriff's Deputy Nick Mahoney, cautioning the investigation was continuing into the midday home invasion. A 21-year-old woman identified as Elizabeth Rodriguez was arrested and is likely facing 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of first-degree burglary. She's supposed to be the getaway driver, but investigators say she fled the scene after hearing gunshots. If someone dies in the commission of a felony, Oklahoma law allows all suspects to be charged with murder, even if they did not actually kill anyone. According to the Tulsa World, Rodriguez told authorities she planned a burglary of the home and dropped the 3 teens off and waited outside while they entered the home. As soon as the teens broke a glass door to enter the home, the 23-year-old resident grabbed his gun and opened fire on the intruders. Rodriguez later turned herself into police, saying she had information about the burglary. Okay, so these 3 scumbags broke into this house and got shot and died. You know, to me, that sounds like a case of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know, you got to expect that. If you're going to break into someone's house, you're taking a chance of being shot. You know, you forfeit your rights as soon as you go to violate theirs. I have no pity for them. Good. Happy ending as far as I'm concerned. However, today, the plot thickens. Not so much the plot thickens as it gets stupider. Because Leroy Schumacher, the grandfather of Jacob Redfern, the 17-year-old that was shot and killed with 2 other teens when they broke into a house to rob it, is speaking out. Schumacher says the fight wasn't fair because it was an AR-15 against brass knuckles. Yeah, you heard me. He says the fight wasn't fair. It wasn't fair because he had an AR-15 while poor little Jacob only had brass knuckles. According to the Tulsa Channel 8 report, what these 3 boys did was stupid, said Leroy Schumacher. Schumacher agrees his grandson and his friends made a bad decision, but not one worthy of deadly consequences. They knew they could be punished for it, but they did not deserve to die, said Schumacher. Redfern, 19-year-old Maxwell Cook, and 16-year-old Jake Woodruff were shot by the homeowner's son while breaking into the Wagoner County Courthouse Monday. Schumacher says his grandson didn't have a chance. The 17-year-old, he says, never got into trouble. Brass knuckles against an AR-15. Come on, who is afraid for their life, said Schumacher. The homeowner's son has not been charged with the crime. Deputies believe he fired in self-defense. There's got to be a limit to that law. I mean, he shot all 3 of them. There was no need for that, said Schumacher. I promise I won't have an aneurysm on camera, although it's going to be difficult. So, these 3 guys, these 3 scumbags, these 3 criminals, break into someone's house and they pay the price for their stupidity. Grandpa says, but it ain't fair. Fair's where you go to ride rides and eat cotton candy. When you break into someone's house, armed with brass knuckles and a knife, your intentions are to beat the living shit out of somebody or stab them to death. How is that fair to the homeowner? How is that fair to the guy that worked all his life to get the stuff that you're trying to steal because you're a scumbag? It ain't. You deserve what you get. How is 3 against 1 fair, Gramps? Good boy, never got into trouble? Yeah, I'm sure the very first thing he decided to do was an armed home invasion. Yeah, right. Brass knuckles against an AR-15. Come on, who is afraid for their life? I don't know. How would you like it if three dudes dressed in black, right, masked up with brass knuckles and a knife come breaking through your door? Would you be in fear of your life? I would, and I'd do everything I could to protect it. That's just common sense to me. You know, this bullshit, pardon my language, of people like that is what's wrong with this country. It's what's wrong with our society. It's why the people who commit worse and worse crimes younger and younger. Because of stuff like this, because everybody makes excuses for them and nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions. Well, these boys this time were forced to take responsibility for their actions. The ultimate responsibility. I have no pity for them. Frankly, all of this lies on them. They're dead because they were stupid. Mr. Schumacher goes on to say, there's got to be a limit to that law. I mean, he shot all three of them. There was no need for that. That last part is the only thing Mr. Schumacher was right about in this whole statement that he made. There was no need for this. There was no need for his grandson and his friends to plan and execute an armed home invasion. Unfortunately, they paid the ultimate price for it. They died. It's their responsibility. It's their fault. Nobody else's. Has nothing to do with the disparity of weapons. You know, the homeowner had an AR-15. They had brass knuckles and a knife. Well, there were three of them. So I guess the AR-15 makes up for that, doesn't it? They were breaking into someone's house without any cause or reason to do so. Guess the AR-15 made up for that. They planned and executed a criminal, felonious act with the intent to go in and cause harm to the occupants of that home. Frankly, I'm glad that the guy had the AR-15. I'm glad he had the means to defend himself and the will to use it. It's unfortunate that three young people lost their lives, but I can't have any pity for them. They made their choices, and they paid the price for it. I'm Mike. This is Budget Guns and Gear Reviews. And if you like what I said, if you don't like what I said, leave a comment below. You know, contribute to the discussion. Tell me, what do you think? Is it fair? Is it right that the homeowner defended himself with an AR-15 against three individuals armed with brass knuckles and knives? I think so. What do you think? Like, share, subscribe. That'll help me be able to bring you more content. It helps me know what you want, what you like, and helps get the message out there. Thanks.